This is the final lesson in the first section of the course. We've discussed concepts like what AI really means in business terms, the different types of AI, and the core concepts of algorithms, automation, and augmented decision-making, and the super hot topic today, decision intelligence.
Many organizations face the challenge of there being a disconnect between technical teams who understand AI capabilities and business leaders who need to make strategic decisions about AI adoption. Technical teams can explain how the technology works, but they might not fully grasp the business implications, the organizational change required, or the strategic priorities that are driving your decisions as a leader. On the other side, business leaders who don't understand the fundamentals of AI struggle to evaluate proposals, ask the right questions, or communicate effectively with their teams about what AI means for their organization. This gap can create real problems. Projects might get approved based on excitement rather than strategic fit. Teams might resist change because leadership cannot articulate the value clearly in a way that resonates with them. Resources may get allocated to impressive technology that's not actually solving real business problems. The knowledge you've gained in this section helps to bridge that gap. You can now engage with technical teams on their terms while making decisions based on business value, not just technological capability. Let's talk a little bit more about that framework of decision intelligence. It can specifically transform your leadership as far as how you approach AI. When someone presents an AI initiative, decision intelligence will give you a framework for the evaluation. You ask, what specific decision or outcome does this improve? Is this about pattern recognition at scale, an algorithm problem? Is it about eliminating routine tasks, an automation opportunity? Or is it about augmenting human judgment with better insights? Through these questions, you'll also be finding out if your teams have been doing their research. Now, what data does this require? That's another question you want to ask. Do we have access to quality data in this area? Garbage in, garbage out. Poor data leads to poor outcomes, regardless of how sophisticated the AI is. What's the balance between AI capability and human oversight here? Where does the technology handle decisions and where do humans retain control? What happens when the AI is wrong? Every AI system makes mistakes, so what are the consequences? And do we have appropriate safeguards in place, or do we know how to implement those? These are not technical questions. They're strategic leadership questions informed by your understanding of how AI works. Decision intelligence helps you allocate resources more effectively, can distinguish between AI projects that will deliver measurable business value and those that are technically interesting but strategically marginal, can identify where AI investments will have the highest return, not just in cost savings, but in competitive advantage, customer experience, or enabling your team to focus on higher value work, which can also, in the long term, help with your team's morale. And you can sequence AI initiatives appropriately. Maybe you need to improve data quality before deploying sophisticated algorithms. What needs to go into the queue? Maybe you need to automate routine tasks before attempting complex augmented decision-making. Decision intelligence helps you see the dependencies and plan accordingly. Understanding these concepts also transforms how you lead your team through AI adoption. When you can explain clearly what AI will do and won't do, you can reduce anxiety and resistance. When you can articulate how automation eliminates tasks, not jobs, and frees your team for more meaningful work, you change the conversation from threat to opportunity. When you demonstrate you understand the technology and have a strategic framework for using it, you're building confidence. Your team will know you're making data-driven decisions, but not just traditional data-driven decisions. You're making next-level, AI-enhanced decisions that stand on the shoulders of giants. You're leveraging algorithms that have processed millions of data points, patterns identified across vast data sets that no human could manually analyze, and insights derived from computational power that amplifies human judgment rather than replacing it. This is not about following data blindly. It's about using AI to see further and decide better than ever before possible. Your team recognizes decisions aren't being made based on hype or fear, but on a sophisticated understanding of how to combine technological capability with strategic judgment. And there are certainly competitive implications. Organizations that understand how to leverage AI strategically will have significant advantages over those that don't. AI enables faster, more informed decision making. While competitors are manually analyzing data or relying on delayed reports, you're making decisions based on real-time insights that connect far more variables than humans can process manually. Automation frees your team from routine work, allowing them to focus on innovation, relationship building, and strategic initiatives that create competitive differentiation. For customer service, AI allows personalization at scale. You can deliver customized experiences, anticipate customer needs, and respond to issues faster, all while maintaining the human touch in interactions that truly matter. Companies that get this balance right, AI for efficiency and insight, humans for relationships and judgment, these companies will outperform the others that either resist AI entirely or rely on it too heavily without the human oversight. Understanding AI also affects your ability to attract and retain talent. Top performers have a lot more choices to pick from, and they want to work for organizations that eliminate tedious work and empower them to focus on meaningful, strategic challenges. When you can credibly explain how AI supports your team rather than threatens them, you become a more attractive employer. When you demonstrate strategic thinking about technology rather than fear or blind adoption, you signal your organization is positioned for the future. Let's think about applying decision intelligence to some common leadership scenarios. Evaluating an AI vendor proposal. A vendor pitches an AI solution that promises to revolutionize your customer service. Without understanding the fundamentals, you could be swayed by impressive demonstrations or intimidated by technical complexity. With decision intelligence, however, you ask, what specific problem does this solve? Our current challenge is response time on complex technical issues, not routine questions. Will this AI handle that? Or will it just automate the easy cases we're already handling efficiently? What data does this AI need to train on? And how long will implementation really take? What's the balance between AI and human agents? And how are we going to handle situations where AI doesn't have the answer? What are the total costs, including training, data preparation, and ongoing maintenance? What's the realistic timeline to value, not just to implementation? These questions, grounded in your understanding of algorithms, automation, and augmented decision-making, help you make a strategic decision rather than an emotional one. Another scenario would be team restructuring decisions. You're considering reorganizing your team to improve efficiency. AI can provide data on communication patterns, project completion rates, and resource allocation. Decision intelligence helps you use this information appropriately. The AI surfaces patterns and insights that you might not see manually. It might identify bottlenecks or highlight collaboration patterns that suggest better team structures. Then you apply human judgments to interpret those insights. It's still your flavor. You know that Maria's team appears less efficient on paper because they're handling the most complex, ambiguous projects that don't fit neat metrics. You know that the tight collaboration between two teams isn't redundancy, it's strategic cross-pollination that drives innovation. You use the AI insights to inform your thinking, but the decision intelligence to help make sure that you're making the call based on strategic goals, team dynamics, and organizational culture, not just optimizing for metrics that the algorithm can measure. Another scenario, investment prioritization. You have a budget for one major initiative. 3 proposals are on the table, all involving AI in different ways. Decision intelligence helps you evaluate them systematically. Which initiative addresses your most critical strategic priority? Which one requires capabilities expertise and data you already have versus significant foundational work first? Which initiative delivers quick wins that build organizational confidence? Which deliver longer term strategic value? Where does the balance between risk and reward make sense given your organization's current position and capabilities? You're not asking which AI is most impressive. You're asking which initiative, supported by appropriate AI capabilities, delivers the greatest strategic value. As you move forward, think of decision intelligence as a muscle you strengthen through practice. Start applying this framework to smaller decisions. When AI tools or proposals come across your desk, pause and systematically evaluate them. What problem does this solve? What type of AI capability is this? Is it an algorithm, automation, or augmented decision making, or a mixture? And what's the appropriate balance with human judgment? Have conversations with your team about decision intelligence. Help them understand you're not evaluating AI based on technological sophistication, but on strategic fit and business value. Build this into your organizational culture. Make decision intelligence the systematic, strategic evaluation of when and how to use AI, part of how your team approaches problems and opportunities. The concepts you've learned in this section are not abstract theory. They're not fluff. They're practical frameworks for making better decisions about AI in your organization. You understand what AI actually is and what it isn't, can distinguish between different types of AI, and understand which is suited for which problems. You know how algorithms, automation, and augmented decision-making work individually and as a system. And you have decision intelligence as your strategic framework for applying all of this knowledge. And this will put you in a position that many leaders don't have yet. You can engage with AI strategically, not just reactively. You can lead your organization through this transformation with clarity and increased confidence. Now, in the next section, we're going to shift from understanding AI to embracing it as opportunity rather than threat, exploring how to reframe the AI conversation in your organization, how to identify where AI creates genuine value, and how to build the mindset that sees AI as a tool for growth rather than a potential source of anxiety.